Firebox is a perfect recording system. It's perfect for songwriting, it's perfect for mobile recording. I can take it with me, it's small, I hook it up with my laptop, and I'm recording anywhere I'd like. Setting up the Firebox is simple. First, you install the drivers that come with the included packet, you hook up the FireWire, and the Firebox syncs automatically, ready to use. The next step is to load Cubase 4LE recording software, along with the included plugins, virtual instruments, samples, and drum loops. Now that everything's installed, I'll open Cubase, start a new project, and begin building a song. I first set the tempo of my song in the transport control and then enable the click track. The song that I'm about to record has a tempo of 145 beats per minute. I'll set that in the transport window, and having a click track establishes a steady tempo, which allows the song to not drift up and down in tempo. Now I'll bring in a drum loop from Discrete Drums, which will establish a drum loop for the song I'm about to record. The cool thing about Discrete Drums is that they are analog recorded drum tracks by a real studio drummer with separate tracks of kick, snare, toms, and real overheads. To import the loop that I'm going to use for my song, first I go to File, then I go to Import, and I hit Audio File. Then find the Discrete Drum Loops folder that I copied onto my hard drive during installation, where I can preview and then import my selected loop. Now I need to time stretch my loop so that it is the same tempo as my song. To do this, select the Time tool, select the loop, and stretch the loop so that it is in time with the click track. Once my drum loop is in Cubase, I can duplicate it to add as many segments as needed. To do this quickly, press Ctrl D. Now, I'll do a similar process to create a drum intro so that I can get my song started. Now that my drums are down, I can lay down a couple of scratch tracks. These are not keeper tracks, but they'll be tracks that kind of set up the song structure so that I can lay down my keeper tracks later on. I've set up a microphone that goes into input 1 of the Firebox, and then I've also run a cable from my guitar to go into channel 2 of the Firebox. I'll add 2 mono audio tracks by right-clicking and select Add Audio Track. Then assign the inputs that I'll be using to record my vocal into input 1 and acoustic guitar into input 2 of the Firebox. Now that I have assigned the inputs, I click on the monitor button to hear my microphone and guitar and adjust my levels on the Firebox so that my levels are as high as possible in Cubase, but not clipping. Check 1 2, check check 1 2 1 2, check check 1 2. Now that my levels are good, we're ready to record some tracks. So I hit the Record Enable button and press record.
Step up to the Ferris wheel, get inside the cage, for a ride you won't believe. The circus clowns that run the show.
Now that I've recorded the guide tracks for the song, I've chose to set up 2 condenser microphones in a XY pattern so that I can record the keeper tracks on my acoustic guitar. I repeat a similar process, but this time add a stereo track and select inputs 1 and 2 in Cubase. Set my levels and I'm ready to go. I'll be listening to the click, the drums and the guide track so that I can play along. I will monitor my acoustic track a little louder than the other tracks so that I can hear what I'm recording really well. Now that I've recorded my acoustic guitar, I'll repeat the same process with the bass guitar, vocal track, and a keyboard track. So now I'm going to cut a bass track and I'll record it similar to the other tracks where I just plug my line right into input 1 and I select a track and hit record enable and I'm ready to cut bass tracks.
Step up to the Ferris wheel, get inside the cage, for a ride you won't believe. The circus clowns that run the show.
If I make a mistake during recording, Cubase makes it really easy to punch in a fix. I'll show you this with the bass track. Here I hit a wrong note. I'll set the punch in spot and punch out spot with a 10-second pre-roll and hit record. Cubase will go in and out of record mode where I set my markers automatically and I'll just play along. Now that my bass track is finished, I'm going to cut a keyboard track using the Lounge Lizard Virtual Instruments pack, which comes with the Firebox. Lounge Lizard Virtual Instruments has a bunch of old school sounding keyboard sounds such as Fender Rhodes, some old Wurlitzer sounds, so I'm going to cut a track right now. Let's go with it. To do this, right-click in the track list and select Add Virtual Instrument Track. Select Lounge Lizard from the list. Set the Cubase track input to be USB audio device, which is my little USB keyboard here. And the output is Lounge Lizard. Go back to the Lounge Lizard instrument and I'll select my sound. I record enable my track and I'm ready to record.
Step up to the Ferris wheel, get inside the cage, for a ride you won't believe.
Now I've set up a large diaphragm condenser microphone and I plugged it into channel 1 of the Firebox and I'm going to go ahead and cut the keeper vocal track, we hope. And the lights are flickering, so welcome to the big time. The stars are shining brighter. After all of the tracks are recorded, I can mix my song by setting the final volume levels, stereo pan, equalization, and any effects for each track. The Firebox comes with many useful plugins including EQs, compressors, a reverb, delay, guitar amp simulators, and on and on. Now that my song is complete, I want to mix it down to a WAV file so I can burn a CD. I do this by first selecting the area of the project I want to mix down. Then click on File, Export, and then Audio Mix Down. From here, I can name my file and save it as a WAV file at a sample rate of 44.1 and a bit depth of 16-bit for CD burning. As you can see, the Firebox is a powerful tool that makes creating and recording your music easier than ever. The people at PreSonus Audio have many valuable resources on their website as well as an online forum to give you information into the digital recording world. Check out PreSonus.com and have fun recording your own music.